Hey guys, that's Nike, by the way. So, welcome to Mobile Mind Meld. I am the Paradigm Collider, and my goal here is to, as you can tell by the name, collide people's paradigms, challenge people's paradigms, change people's paradigms. Because the paradigm that you are in your beliefs, is way, way off. You're asleep. You don't know you're asleep. I didn't know I was asleep. And so I'm here to wake you up. We need to take our power back. We need to take our republic back. We have dominion over every government, police station, police officer, judge, courtroom, military on this planet until we give consent of their jurisdiction over us, and then we have no power. And we don't even know we're doing it, and we don't know how to do it, and we don't know why it's happening. So this is why I'm here to help. I want to help every man and woman on this planet. Now, I could have said I want to help every person on this planet. However, the word person, if you look up the term in Black's Law Dictionary, is a non-living entity. Now, let me ask you a question. If someone cuts you, do you bleed? If the answer is yes, you're not a person. Do you understand? Are you an individual? Do you call other people individuals? The definition of individual is property of the government. Are you property? Well, yes, you are. At least you are presumed to be so. And if you don't take the correct position, you are. This is a war of words. This is a war of word perversion that has been put upon mankind. And this isn't new, okay? We are under what is called International Maritime Admiralty Law. This happened, well, in 1215, they signed the Magna Carta. And that is when in England anyway, in that empire, the people were then under common law, public law, the law of the land. In that law, if you damage somebody or their property, you pay, as you should. However, in 1938, law was blended with equity, meaning they created a new style of law. It is the blending of common law or public law with International Maritime Admiralty Law, or what they're calling statutory law. Well, this is not a good thing, okay? This is a Babylonian rule of law. Anybody here ever read the Bible, heard about the Bible? Of course you have, okay? You ever heard about the Babylonians? Yeah. So, this is not good. This is the law of the high seas. In Admiralty law, you are entered into contracts unbeknownst to you. And you are, because you exercise benefits given to you by the government. For example, paying excise tax is a friggin' benefit. Well, it sure as hell don't feel like it, but it is. So you have to understand the nuance of how you're being imprisoned. You are imprisoned. You are a slave. I'm sorry if you don't like to hear that. I certainly didn't like to hear it. I didn't want to learn that, but it's the truth. What you see in front of me are two books. One is the Chicago Manual of Style. That is the official grammar sentence structure book of the City of London, hence of the world. Below it you see the UCC connection. That book right there, informationally speaking, is worth billions to you. You need to get this book, you need to read it, and you need to read it 5 or 10 friggin' times, okay? It has some legal jargon in there, and so it took me a while. Okay, I had to read it a few times. It is imperative that you do this, lest you be a slave and continue to be a slave. And maybe you're okay with the way things are, and maybe you just have that feeling of like when Neo in the Matrix saw the black cat, and then he said, "Whoa, deja vu," when he saw that black cat again. Well, this is the matrix that you're in, okay? It's you know something's wrong, but you don't know what's wrong. Well, over several videos, I'm going to try to tell you what is wrong and what you can do about it, okay? It really is all about education. If you choose not to learn these things, it's not easy. This isn't easy to learn, okay? So, do you want to continue to be a slave? Do you want to continue to be pushed around by police if you ever do have any contact with them? Do you want to be frightened every time you get some sort of summons or a collection bill from a fictitious entity like a corporation or a company, or a fictitious entity like a summons from a court? I can't imagine you do, but maybe you do. And so what this is this is about language perversion. Do you identify as a person? A person is a non-living entity. Look up the term in Black's Law Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary is the dictionary used by every courtroom in the world. Okay? Every courtroom in this world, other than the International Court of Trades, which is in the District of Columbia, right, which is a foreign territory from the continental United States. We won't go there, but other than that, every court in the world is defunct. Not to mention, every lawyer and every judge that has a club membership to the Bar Association does not have a license to practice law in the United States. As a matter of fact, every courtroom in the United States, in the world for that matter, other than the International Court of Trades, is foreign from the soil it sits on. Every courthouse in this country is foreign from the soil it sits on. It is connected to London. The District of Columbia is foreign from the continental United States. And so it's all word magic. It's trickery. And if you don't learn what this trickery is doing to you, you're going to continue to be a slave, and you're going to suffer. And your children are going to suffer. Your parents suffered. Their parents suffered. They were all slaves, indentured servants. Are you a citizen? How many times have you said, are you an American citizen? Absolutely I am. Oh, good. So you're property. You're a government employee of the United States Corporation. Well, I choose not to be that. I'm a man, period. I'm not a citizen. I'm not an individual. I don't have an address. I have a dwelling. Why? Because a dwelling is a place where you live. An address connects you to a federal territory, which then therefore means you are property of the United States Corporation. You're property. Do you know what? Are you a human being? How many people use the word human being? Oh, human beings are this, human beings are that. I'm a good human being. I'm a human being. Look up the term human being in Black's Law Dictionary. You know what it says? Monster. Under the complete control of another. Are you a monster? Well, yeah, you are. You're presumed so. Until you know how to take the correct position in your time and space, you're a monster. You're a fucking monster. Are you an infant? I don't care if you're 75 years old. If you have not taken your rightful position as primary beneficial interest title holder of your minor estate, which is your straw man account, your Cesta K trust, then you're an infant. Why do you think it is when you go into a courtroom, you're treated with abject contempt? You know why? Because you're dead, first of all. You go in, you identify as being the person that they're asking, person, non-living entity, and so then they're free to adjudicate you because you have given consent to the court. You've given jurisdiction to the courthouse. Sorry, not the court. The court is the piece of paper. Look up the Four Corners Rule of Law. When someone says, I have to go to court, you can't go to court. Court is a piece of paper. The courtroom is not the court. The courthouse is not the court. The judge is not a judge. He's an actor under the federal rules of civil procedure. And so people need to understand what's really going on here. And I apologize for this being all over the place. I don't know how to make videos. I'll make subsequent videos. Please feel free to ask questions. I can answer questions much better than I can make videos offhand. And so some of the ways that the government or the corporation, it's really a corporation, and this is a worldwide thing, guys. Okay, the Universal Postal Union has dominion over every vessel on this planet since 1868 via treaty. So a vessel, what's a vessel? You're a vessel. Anything that can be put in motion. That means a man, a woman, a piece of paper, a vehicle, anything that can be put in motion is under the dominion of the Universal Postal Union. You know, that's not me saying this. Look it up. Look up the Act of 1871. Look up what happened to the New Deal in 1933 when all legal money was made illegal and all illegal money was, and the created illegal money was made legal. You know, you have Federal Reserve notes. A Federal Reserve note is not money. It is a promise to pay. If you think that if you paid $500,000 for a house in cash, guess what? You paid nothing. All you gave them was promises to pay. Guess who owns it? The Federal Reserve Bank owns it because they're the ones that issued the Federal Reserve notes. So, you know, guys, this is bad. And you better educate yourself real quick because now we have this black swan event going on. And so, you know, even if you overstand your rights completely, is it going to matter if there's 25 dudes out there with guns at your house? You know, whether you know how to take the correct position or not is going to be somewhat irrelevant because they can blow you the fuck away. So, you know, this is bad. This is bad that this is happening because I don't know if people have the time to learn how to take control of their world. This is our world. We're the kings and queens of this world, not fictitious entities that man created. But right now, the police departments, a police officer, when he is in uniform and is punched in, so to speak, is a fictitious entity. He is not the live man or woman that punches out and goes home after a shift. So you have to understand what's going on here. So some of the ways where we're being screwed over, so to speak, is interesting. And some of the rules that these guys are breaking that nobody knows about is amazing. I mean, they're breaking some horrible, horrible, horrible rules. And it just seems like nobody knows. For example, on a daily basis, the government, banks, police departments, and understand, these guys are in usury, okay? They're not bad guys. They're just doing their job, okay? There's some bad cops, there's some great cops, but they do not overstand what they're doing to people. These are the things that are broken on a daily basis by all of these people against us. Title 18, Section 1341, mail fraud banking. You know, that's $1 million fine and 30 years in prison. But well, guess what? Not only did they get away with doing it to us, we're scared of them. Under Title 18, Section 1001, fictitious conveyance of language, 10 years and a $10,000 fine. They do it daily to you. I shouldn't say you. You is a financial term. but you know what I mean. Title 15, 1692E, false and misleading statements, $25 million fine, 30 years in prison. Title 18, 242, deprivation of rights under the coloring of law. You have to understand what's going on here. You know, this is, think of it this way. What do you call it when you put letters together to make a word? You call it spelling, right? Do you know why? Because every day we all cast spells on each other with words, with spelling. Do you see how all of this stuff is right in plain sight? The truth is in plain sight. These guys, all these people that rule the world, they have to put the truth in plain sight. Now, if you don't learn what the truth is, guess what? Ignorance is no excuse for the law. Now, speaking of law, check this out. You think this is new shit that I'm talking about here? You think this is new? Here, check this out. A lien or claim can be satisfied only through rebuttal by counter affidavit, point by point, meaning when you get something in the mail, you mail something back, a document back. That's your law. Number 2, resolution by a jury. If it happens to go to a courthouse and you have a jury trial, there's a resolution by a jury. Or payment or performance of the claim. See that? Genesis, Matthew, Revelation. This isn't new stuff. It's forgotten stuff. It's knowledge that has not been passed down. So, I guess I'm going to stop here. I hope these videos get better. Get my birds freaking out too. Guys, ask questions. I'll answer them. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer. I hope I haven't made this video so horrible that you become disinterested and continue to be a slave. So, I guess that's it for now. Again, I'm the Paradigm Collider. This is Mobile Mind Meld. Get this book. Read it. It will empower you like you have no friggin' idea. I love you all. I hope we make it through this. Heed my words on this one. Educate yourself or perish. Peace to all my brothers and sisters. I love you. See you soon.